Now, the next assignment is to document our code, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that you asked to remove all the comments. To remove comments, you can simply select whatever lines of code and just press Ctrl/ again on whichever lines of code you selected. You can do multiple lines in one go. Pressing Ctrl/ once puts the comment, pressing it again removes the comment. So it's pretty straightforward. So remove all the comments and just make sure everything is initialized and everything is running properly. Yeah. So anyway, now let's document your class. So what you're asked to do is first go to the product class and copy the license information from product. So scroll to the top, grab the license information, go to the shop and paste it there. Shop class has been created before we set the project properties. Yeah? So it never had a chance to actually, inherit from the project properties the license that we've configured. The product was created afterwards, but the shop wasn't. Now, so we copied and pasted that license information, replacing the license text in the product, in the shop with the appropriate license text. Now, there's something else that we'll do. We'll document the shop class, and we'll specify version information, like this is practice 4 version, for example. And we just basically describe the purpose of the shop. Yeah. Okay. So let's put this into the shop class right here. Purpose of the class shop, version number, yeah, representing application that manages products. There you go. So we've placed some documentation, and then you asked to do similar thing with the product, adding documentation that describes the product. General description of what it meant to be, like what properties it reflects, yeah. Yeah, and then also highlight certain things in the documentation itself, like highlight the fact that product is not just a word, but a name of the class. You can actually use HTML markups directly, yeah? As you can see, and you could link things like, for example, a description of the class can have a link to the element which describes discount rate. Yeah. Anyway, well, let's just put this documentation onto the product right here. So you're documenting what your product is supposed to be, and I think I'm using the British English rather than American English spelling. But anyway, yeah, so we've documented that. Next, we also could add extra documentation to individual methods, variables, constants, whatever you like. In this particular case, let's apply documentation that describes what is the discount rate. Yeah. Okay, so take that description of the discount rate, find your discount rate constant and put it in front of it. Yeah. So we're documenting discount rate. Let's do the nice formatting again. Yeah. Now notice that we're actually linking here to the existing JDK APIs. Yeah. So, the classes that comprise Java Development Kit itself. You can do that from your documentation. Absolutely. Okay. And this should be added also to the get discount method. Yeah. So documenting a constant and documenting a method logic as well. And notice the interesting thing about documenting the method logic is that here we can describe parameters and we can describe return type as well. So see how that will transpire in the documentation. So we'll go and put this documentation on the get discount. And nicely format everything. Okay. So calculating discount based on price and discount rate and linking back to the discount rate constant, etc. And obviously you go around your code and different classes and methods, and you do this documentation, you type in all this documentation, and now you can generate the actual documentation. Let's do that. So generate Java doc. Right? So it's under the run menu, generate Java doc. Okay. So as you can see, it forms an HTML documentation, actually pops up the browser for you, opening up documentation, and you can now navigate around it. You can see what, this is your shop class, for example. Shop class represents an application that manages product. That's your text from, the actual documentation of yours, yeah? You can see that. And let's go back to all of your classes. Let's look at a product class now. So that's the description of product class. See, it links to this discount rate. Yeah, you can navigate to the description of the discount rate variable. Yeah, well, constant. And you can actually link to standard JDK classes, in this particular case, big decimal. Click on that, and you'll be navigated to the actual online documentation, which describes, how big decimal works, for example. And if we look at the class definition, so we have here fields, we have constructors. Now you can actually take this shortcut to methods, and then we'll just show you the list of methods. And we documented one of them, which is this get discount method, and we can click on that and discover what the get discount is supposed to be doing, calculates discount based on rate, and again, the navigation linking us back to the discount rate constant. So as you can see, the documentation is interlinked. It's automatically generated based on these comments that you place into the source code. Yeah, so I guess it's a good habit of providing coherent documentation in code, describing what the program meant to be doing. Yeah. Okay, and that's how you can do it. That's how you can generate the documentation. And you just play around with documentation in browser after that. This is it for practice 4.